All right, guys, what's going on? What's cracking? So I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I wanted to do a garage tour update. So for this, it's going to be a little bit different than my normal stuff, obviously, usually talking about the Supra. This time around, I'm gonna go like a little bit of update of what I've been using for tools-wise, how I've been building the cars. Obviously, the wife's Supra is not here right now. If you're new to this is gonna be a little offbeat. So this might be for you. Maybe this is the reason why you clicked on this video today. Just to give you guys an update if you're new, this is my personal Mark IV Supra, single turbo, T56 Magnum built rear end, and then my wife's Supra, which usually sits here, is off to paint right now. That is going to be a built automatic single turbo VVTi, so kind of a little opposite of mine, but they're the same color. So it's Alpine Silver as it's called, but I'll kind of go into that a little bit later here. Today's video is going to be a garage tour, kind of like going in depth of what this is and why I did all this. All right, guys, so to start at the beginning of this video here, I'm gonna show you the outside of it here. This is my house. I had it built about three and a half years ago. As my friends say, I built a garage with a house attached. It does have a full basement and stuff. I do live in the Northeast here, Pennsylvania to be exact, South Central Pennsylvania to be exact. 3 bays. It is 33 feet wide by 38 feet deep. The house is above, it's only 1,800 square feet with another 18 below. Sorry for the wind. I did like these doors and all this stuff too. I think this is cool. And then we do have 5-inch concrete the whole way throughout, just for when that time comes when I put a lift in, which is definitely going to happen. Now, to start off inside the garage here, I put a ton of outlets in this garage and a ton of light. Now, much of this light also has been added from my buddy Stan Stagger Media. Tony, he's an electrician, and he gave me these lights to put in. I had 6 lights here with 2 LED bulbs or 2 fluorescent bulbs in each. And it was pretty good because I came from a 1-car garage to building this, which had literally 1 bulb in it, to now having this. And then he gave me these big 6-bulb ones. These use like these crazy T8 bulbs. It's awesome. I put them in between each garage door, which I think is awesome. That was Tony's idea too. I love it. We also have a ton of outlets in this garage. So one thing we made sure of is putting as many outlets as possible. If you can see here, also putting a side door in makes a big help, but outlets everywhere. 220, so that's gonna be a 220 for a lift. I put another 220 back here. I wish I would have put, instead of there, I wish I would have put against this wall, because I eventually want to put in a welder back here and use this as a welding area. I put the window here so I can use this as a ventilation area. I'd like to get a TIG welder, use it for that. Again, for the lift, as you can see here, the goal was to eventually put a lift right here. The ceilings are just under 11 feet. It's like 10 foot, 11 inches. Some things are starting to crack though. It's been 3 years, the house settled because the garage is so big. You see some cracks here up on the ceiling too, which I plan on ripping out the tape and redoing that. That's the proper way to do it because that looks horrible. But I'm very happy. Now, here is going to be the one thing you guys notice. This is my budget build garage setup. I got this idea about 5 years ago. If you follow Obsessed Garage, he did something like it too for his house years ago. Because I built this house, I guess, a little over 3.5 years ago now. And that's when we moved in. So we started building it probably around 4.5 years because it took a year to build it. And we started planning about 5 years ago. So that's where I got the idea for this. I saw something on this thing called the Garage Journal where it had a similar layout, but it was too expensive. And this is my budget idea of it. These are all Husky cabinets and Husky toolboxes, which come in handy, and it was cheap. This whole entire setup was under $2,000, which is mind-blowing to me. Got all these boxes, all these cabinets, everything, including the TV, under $2,000. Like, mind-blowingly cheap. And I really like it. I'm gonna go through all of them here in a minute, but before we do that, I'm gonna explain a little bit more of the setup. Obviously, everything is insulated in here, insulated above. All the walls are insulated. I do not have heat or AC. I haven't gotten to that step in my life yet where that's where I need to do. I'd like to get to that point, but I'm not quite there yet. Again, like I said, I do have a ton of outlets in this garage. I've got them at the top corners because I planned on putting fans up there and then cameras, which I did put a camera up there because, well, you know, when you have nice things, people can be a little greedy and like to steal stuff, so we gotta have cameras. You never freaking know. The thing, my hose bib and reel and everything is stored inside. Before there was Obsessed Garage too, and it's funny how I started watching his videos, he uses these all his kits, but my entire house, I have one in the front here also, another spot, and I have them back. I use these Priere, or whatever they're called. They're a little more expensive, but they seem to hold up really well. And I like this hose too. Now, I like it low to the ground like this too, just because the line coming straight out to the house, there's no kinks in it. It comes literally straight out from the pump itself, which I like. So it keeps less chances of, you know, a leak inside the house anywhere. And just typical hose and all that stuff. This bump out here is a fireplace. I was not happy with this. When we did it, we bumped it in the house some to it add some character, add the foot. And when I talked to the builder, he's like, yeah, from doing that, we were able to bump this in a foot. Well, I came out here and it was framed out like this and said, what's going on? He said, well, I misunderstood, and by code, no matter what, we have to have it come out this far for ventilation that goes up and through. Was not happy because now, you see here, it's about 2 feet out into my garage. You know, it seems trivial, but when you're pulling another car in here now, that takes up room and someone could hit this, which is one of my fears. 1 more foot in would make a massive difference. So that was one thing I was not happy about when the car was done, or when the house was done. There's some pictures my buddy at Stan Stegermatia took too. These are actually, listen to this, they're printed on aluminum. So thought that was pretty tricky. He had dropped those off one day. That's my personal Supra at the top, and that's my wife's when we first got it. I think it was like a month old, not even yet. You can see it's an automatic NA car, rough. It was having issues, but he printed those up, and I think that's cool. We're gonna show some more when that's all said and done. This is what I use for heat right now. Again, it's not the best, but it works for me. I mean, when I'm out here, this thing will get it warm quick, and I can just kick it off then, because I don't like it running because it is quite loud, but it's not too bad. I mean, this is like $80 from Tractor Supply. It's worked great for me. I have 2 tanks. Well, one dries up, I switch the other one, then take this one to get filled up. This has worked really well for me. Again, this is my house, so obviously my wife keeps her shoes and stuff out here, and she gets to put this stuff, and she does not like people walking inside the house with their shoes on. Another thing that we did do too, compared to when I lived in my townhouse and I had 1-car garage, my wife did not like me. I was always cleaning parts in the garage, so now we have a sink out here. And one thing I wanted to, I hate when the sinks have legs. You can spend a little bit more and get these ones out without legs, and they actually anchor into the wall using boards. Just makes it easier to clean up and stuff, and there's nothing, no bugs get behind there and build their little nest. When you live in the Northeast, you get spiders and stuff like that. Anywhere where you can eliminate a crevice, do it. So we added that. Again, here, there's the corner, there's the camera. We've got the beer fridge, so that's another thing that was a requirement. I wanted this corner set up. The one regret I will say I have, and my wife has mentioned multiple times, it would have taken up garage space. I wouldn't have this corner here, but I would have made something small and probably could have pushed this over just a little bit then, probably push this over a foot or two, is put a bathroom out here and had a wall come from here out into there and made this like a bathroom area / wash area / shoe area that went into the house, but was a bathroom here, because right now the only other bathroom is on the complete other side of the house. We have 2 full bathrooms, then I'm gonna put a 3rd full bathroom in the basement, which is already roughed in. The problem is people have to walk across the house. My wife doesn't like that. As one mistake I did make, looking back at it, I wish I would have done it. You know, hindsight's 2020, so we have to move on from that. Now I do have this randomly, it looks like an island of stuff here. My wife is finishing up all of her little decor ideas. I'm hoping when this is all done, I can add some more table space. I have these custom tables made by my brother-in-law, Joey, who is a great welder. A lot of these parts in here are actually for my wife's Supra that have to go back on it. You can see some stuff down here. A lot of it's already pre-powder coated. I got some random turbos. Her brakes are in there. A lot of body components, glass, just a lot of random stuff. But this table comes in handy. I had him build this because I didn't have a stable work environment. Like, I use these to do things, but they're also too close to the wall. They're narrow. These are only 18 inches wide. This is 3 foot by 6 foot, which makes a nice working table. You got a cigar, you can see there, guys. I'm gonna smoke that here in a minute. He had made me this one originally, but it was too small, but it was at least rolling. Same with that one. And I used my anvil and stuff on this, which is good, but that is my baby. And having the big shelves and stuff, that thing will last me forever. I think we figured out it probably weighs around 400 pounds. It's not light. If we get under here too, you can see it's braced the whole way through. This is a big boy. This is for serious work, and that's what I wanted. Like, I literally put a hammer on it. It doesn't ding it, doesn't dent it, doesn't do anything. Quite nice. And I didn't paint the top because I learned from this one, painting the top does this. Yeah, brake fluid and stuff gets on. I actually work on my cars. I'm actually, like, you know, I've rebuilt this car a couple times, built my car, my wife's car, which is completely apart. The rest of the parts in the basement. That's what happens. So didn't paint the top on this, left the not the lime scale. I can't think of the proper name for it right now, so I apologize. Left the scale on it and just painted the bottom parts of it. Painted this edge here, so if you lean against it, you didn't get any rust or any grime on you. But I leave it like this because I literally just take brake cleaner, wipe it down, and it's good. Any grease, grime, it's super easy to clean off, which I like. Again, in this corner here, this will eventually be a weld table. We've got the wife's non-turbo 2JZ engine here. We've got her turbo automatic transmission, which will go with what's under here. I guess I'll go ahead and show you guys this. I know this is going to be a garage tour, but might as well show you this engine. Take this clip off here. I have it wrapped up just because it was getting dirty. Yes, I know when it gets in the car, it will be too, but I wanted it to look nice right up to the very end, right? Again, sorry for all the stuff, bucket of oil and just random buckets here. But this is my wife's 2JZ. This is a 2JZ GTE VVTi, variable valve timing engine. Mine, if you can see here, is a non-VVTi engine, which is Powerhouse Racing. There's other videos you guys can go watch on my channel if you look down below. Got it linked, or you can click up here to watch more videos on this. This car is fun and quite quick. This is for the engine for the wife, and the reason for the color scheme is she wants a Tiffany green setup. So the valve cover, spark plug cover matches her brakes, which we're going to have custom powder coated. We had this all powder coated except for the throttle, which actually on the VVTIs is an electronic throttle body. Pretty trick little setup. Got a bunch of titanium in it too. You guys can see that there. That's all titanium bolts. Pretty trick little stuff, but that's for the wife. That's another story. That's another video, which again, you can check out down below. So let's get back to all the cabinets. So for the cabinets and stuff, these tall ones here, I'm starting to organize, keep a bunch of blue shot towels. I wish, actually, I'd probably be able to store those away now, but I don't want to take up good space for that. We've got a bunch of random stuff in this one, which again, I cleared up space here. I've been really trying to organize. I was storing those at the very bottom, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense because I'm always using them, and I felt like I was going back and forth. Plus, these get dirty. We're dropping oil and stuff on them, so I'm like, those don't need to be in a clean area. They aren't that crucial. We've got my gloves and stuff in here. I've got random looming for when I make wiring harnesses, backup battery tenders. We got the Odyssey, which is that's my choice. If I'm going to use it, I use this big boy. It does a nice way of keeping the car charged and make sure you don't overcharge your batteries. Both my cars use an Odyssey also. Start with the top cabinets here. I'm gonna try and make this short, but up here, we've just got miscellaneous again, some detail stuff, but we got like port 15, I got brake fluid, my coolant, some oil filters, K&N cleaning stuff. But I like these to keep like stuff up high that aren't heavy because, you know, this was mounted into the wall. Literally, you mount this in and then you slide these down on. They're pretty trick. It took me a while to get them all level. I was a little nervous, but it turned out I was pretty impressed with myself. I was able to get it all set up and good. And finding studs was definitely a little tricky, but I got it. I did get it because obviously I wanted it uniform across the board. But again, random, just cleaning stuff. This LA's Awesome stuff. If you have anything oily or greasy in your car, highly, highly, highly recommend this stuff. It is cheap, $1 at your dollar store, and it just works. I highly recommend it. Again, random brushes, detailing stuff. Not stuff I usually use a lot, but stuff that I do need. Now this is my go-to one for anything cleaning wise. We've got a ton of Anzo detailing products. I really, really, really like this stuff. Up there we got more. I've got a ton of Modesta also, which you can see up there. My cars, I had my MR2 and my Supra are both covered in ceramic coating that Anzo did. This stuff's amazing, dude. I didn't believe in ceramic coatings until I had it done. I'm like, yeah, I never want to own another car that's not ceramic coated. Stuff is fantastic. But again, that's just a detailing drawer. Of course, then we have the TV here. Miscellaneous again. I've been cleaning up, so I've been organizing, getting things so I can stand them up. Utilize the space you have because I had everything just laying out and only taking this much room, and then had all this dead space. So I'm trying to stand everything up and utilize all the space. Got random rags up there. This one, unfortunately, I couldn't get enough studs here. The way we lined this up and did it, there wasn't enough studs here, so this isn't held in as tight. So I don't like to put a lot of weight in this one. And then here is all my spray paints, all the stuff like brake cleaners, all the stuff you randomly need and that you seem to accumulate over the years. You got sandpaper and stuff up there. Duplicolor professional undercoating, highly recommend this stuff, works really well. Of course, you got brake cleaner, you could use it for everything, but just miscellaneous kind of drawer. And then the last tall cabinet here, again, cleaning up things here last couple of days. I used to store all my dirty towels out here, then I go wash them. Now I have a spot inside the wash bay area because we're fortunate enough that we have a specified area just for cleaning clothes. So I made a rack in there just for them. Again, I use that to dry the car off, some empty bottles. So if I do get random detailing products, I can fill them up. More rags, Gojo, have fallen in love with that. I usually keep 3 buckets. The other bucket just burst. The bottom part of just burst out on me, so I need to get another one. One's for rinse, one's for wash, and then I had one specific for wheels, but it cracked me, so I need to go buy another one from Walmart or Home Depot or wherever, because I do use grit guards. I do like having a freezer fridge out here. It is nice to put like random foods and things out here. I do like my beer, and I know I'm already gonna hear it. I do like my cheap beer. That's how I'm able to afford things. I like my Keystone Light. I used to drink Bud Light, then Miller Light, and now the Keystone Light. My buddy Cody Reed got me on it. And that's pretty much what this is a drink fridge. Typical out in the garage, you have your drink fridge. I'm actually drinking a Keystone over there now, but the cigar I'm about to smoke is $30, so go figure. But now here's we're gonna go through the fun stuff. This is where these Husky cabinets are amazing. So the first one here, I got these little organizers, Harbor Freight. Buy these things. This was taking up an entire drawer. Now it takes up a corner. Plus these guys, I'm gonna stand these up too. I gotta buy 2 or 3 more of these. Standing up your tools and utilizing the space upwards. I was not doing that. I'm so glad I am now. These little blue bins, you'll see a lot of these, dollar store. They come in packs too, of all different sizes. They come in packs of them. And yes, you can spend on expensive ones, but I just needed something that was flexible. See how flexible this is? You can get color-coded ones, I guess, too, but I'm like, I'll just stick with the blue. They didn't have black or white or anything, so the blue works. You don't see it anyways. I just wanted to organize it. Again, random tools, mounts for the 2JZs, brushes and stuff, a ton of O2 sensors because I swapped too many damn cars. This is pilot stuff. This is all for a T56 Magnum, which I run in the car. This is one of the drawers I just emptied out and just randomly set that stuff in there that just got thrown in there. We've got the not wrenches, we've got the screwdriver drawer. Again, this needs to be organized yet. A drawer, you can see I just removed stuff in. Got the torque wrench, random tools that I use to pop off interior panels. All this stuff I buy from Harbor Freight. You might think it's cheap, you might think it's junk. It's worked phenomenal for me, especially for a home do-it-yourselfer. Some oil wrenches and stuff, and I use this specific tool to take off the fuel tank cap. This is all fuel hose and things of that nature, anything that's hose related. I've got a ton of AN hoses like you saw the fittings there. I like to keep extra -6, -8, -10, -12 hose because you never know an instance where you might need it. I think I just emptied this. Yep, I just emptied this when I threw that hose in there because that was all these fittings and stuff were in here, but I'm like, I could use this better for other things. Again, more caps, you got calipers, digital mic, different types of O-rings. You got Viton rings because if you're using 85 or anything with harsh fuels or oils, this is what you want to use. So I got a set of these, definitely come in handy. Extra clamps, grommets, just a bunch of random stuff. Again, I work on cars and I hate when I have to go out and buy things, so I'd rather spend the money now and then regret it later on not having it. Again, more electrical stuff, fuses, fittings, all that kind of thing. Different types of pins, and then more electrical stuff and picks, ohm meters, anything you can need of that nature. These things definitely come in handy. These are for closed barrel crimps that you use for like a Deutsch connector. I think, what do they go down to? These do 12 to 20 gauge wire. Pretty nice little piece. I use that a shit ton. On to the middle one. This is the junk drawer. This is the junk drawer. Usually in this corner is where I have my cigars. But this is the junk drawer, right? And this is what started me the whole organizing thing because there's just stuff everywhere. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm always spending so much time hunting down stuff that I'm tired of it. So this is what got me on the kick of organizing and getting these blue bins. And I'm so glad I did because now it's freed up so much room. Like you'll see as we go on here how much more free space I have. And even this stuff doesn't need to be out here. This has got a ton of empty space. But you know, scissors, you got your pens or you got your markers, and I got pens separately where my scissors are sitting right now, which I could set that like that. You got your Loctite stuff. Just things you need, just random grease and tape. That's typical throwaway drawer. Then you got the drawer you probably use the most, your socket set. This for me is my metric stuff's up top. Again, a lot of it's Craftsman from my dad giving me back in the day. This is my first toolkit, and it's just random stuff. And over the last, mostly over the last 4 years, I've been going ham crazy, Harbor Freight or whoever, and buying stuff. This Harbor Freight, this 3/4 inch, their professional line of Pittsburgh stuff, really, really like it. It's not the Icon stuff, but I've never had an issue. This is probably my most used hand tool, this 3/4 inch with the swivel head. I really, really like this. I probably use this 90% of the time when I'm doing anything hand tool related. Comes in handy again, old Craftsman stuff. This is used every once in a while. I think we used this for one project where we needed multiple bends to work with something for my buddy's Eclipse. These I've never used yet. They're meant for tight areas. So it's a ratcheting style, ratcheting style for any type of fitting you need. Go down again here. More fittings. Wow, that stuff's starting to move. Got more extensions and stuff. This is more metric stuff, more metric everything. We've got spline socket set. We've got impact stuff. And then down here is SAE, which I really never touch, to be honest. I just don't, I pretty much only work on Japanese stuff. The only time I use this is if I get an aftermarket part and they happen to use SAE, but that's very far and few in between, but it does happen here and there. Then again, I'm probably gonna reorganize this and move all this stuff over into here. This is a lot of detailing towels. So a lot of these eagleless, edgeless towels. I like to clean up my cars. A lot of random towels, glass towels. Again, more towels again. I've got a ton of these eagleless, edgeless towels. These are fantastic. It's a bunch of Modesta bags. Or if I go anywhere, I throw these in one of these bags just to have stuff if I'm out and about. In case I need to wipe down the car. I try to never wipe down the car if possible, but it does happen. Have a another top drawer that I've really emptied out again. You see a ton of space in it. So I'm missing some hammers. I was over at my father's house helping the other day. Just random hammers, lead hammers, random tools, anything you could really need. I got my AN wrench drawer next. Again, I'm going to stand these all up because I had this bag flipped out which hold all these. Then I've got these random adjustable AN wrenches too because I use a ton of AN fittings. Then I specifically have this wrench in here. It's a fine tooth 92 tooth ratchet. I use this specifically for removing my catch can and I have to use these AN fittings beside it. So instead of going back and forth, I had an extra ratcheting 1/4 inch. And I'm like, well, with this tool is the only one I ever use it for. So I'm like, well, I'll just leave it in here so I don't have to go back and forth because I'm always emptying the catch can full of oil. It just made it easy. I just throw it in there. When I organize it, I'll have it set up in a certain way so it goes to it. I use these clamps for putting on AN fittings. Recommend get these off eBay. They're made of plastic so it does not mar up the fittings and it's magnetic so it'll stick to any clamp you use. What's in here? I got a bore scope. You got a bunch of OB2 sensors, brake stuff, heat gun scanner, Milwaukee charger. I love my Milwaukee stuff. Got my Porter cable charger then, heat gun, another OB2 sensor from back in the day. Here's my big boy stuff. So you got your 1/2 inch Milwaukee, my favorite tool, power tool. Then I got my 1/4 inch Milwaukee. I use this a little bit. It's a little underpowered. I wish I would have got the fuel one because this one's a little underpowered. My Porter cable 1/4 inch I use more. It has a lot more umph behind it because it is brushless. I use this 1/4 inch or sorry 3/8 ratchet a lot too. And then I do use this big boy for cutting off exhaust or anything of that nature. Coming here, again, we have random drill bits and stuff. I use my Dremel tools a lot too for getting in those tight cut areas. Use these cutting discs a lot. I think this drawer is empty. No, it's not. I thought it was. This is for the air compressor, which is over there. These brushes come in handy when you're trying to remove anything like with a sealant on it. These get in those weird tight spots. Again, I just cleaned this all up. It's crazy watching this back. But these are for the disc for the grinder, which is in the very bottom drawer. Sure, this one, again, another empty drawer because I just cleaned this all up. This was all packed full. I just can't, like, it just seemed like it was impossible, but I just took my time one day and started going through it. And I'm like, man, I have a lot more room. And even still, I could probably empty out at least another full drawer, if not another half drawer, if I organize it properly. And then this bottom one, we've got that grinder there. That's about it. I mean, that's that. And organizing, having the tools you need. I work on my cars a lot. I built that car with just hand tools. Like when I originally built that car, I built that thing with hand tools, no power tools, no nothing. And not only did it just hand tools, like a Craftsman set that my dad gave me. Cause like looking back at it, I'm like, I have no idea how I did it in a 1-car garage. I'll never forget like putting the engine in it the first time cause it was a non-turbo car. I remember it being snowing and I'm outside halfway trying to put the engine in, getting snowed on heavily. And I'm like, I would never do that now with this space. But it's just amazing what you do if you work a little bit harder, set a goal, and you get there. I know it sounds cliche, blah, blah, blah. But it does happen if you definitely set your mind to it. Well, guys, I hope this was a fun one for you. I enjoy making like these videos like this. I hope this is something you guys maybe want to work for. If you can see behind me here, I love this garage. I love working in here. I'm very fortunate to have this. There's times I even say like, I need this or I want that. Like I wish I had a dirty area to grind and do things and weld. I wish I had a dirty workshop because anything I do in here, if I paint or anything, it gets on everything in here. So I wish I had a dirty grinding paint shop area that I'm like, I don't care about overspray. I don't care about getting shit on the walls. I don't care. I wish I had like a little, just an area to do that kind of stuff, but I don't. So I need to be appreciative for what I have, you know. Too many people that are ungrateful, so I need to be grateful for what I have. I am fortunate that I was able to do this eventually. Well, guys, that's it. If there's any questions, concerns, if you want to know something, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.